Hello, everybody. It's RM here. And tonight we're going to be having and continuing our Pacific watch party. Darth Plato and I are going to continue on and also do a watch party for Masters of the Air when it premieres in a few weeks. But in the meantime, he and I have been reviewing the Pacific. And since so many people already have seen Band of Brothers, I wanted to look at the Pacific. I feel it's such an important series. And certainly, I'm excited to be reviewing it here on Positive Fandom and on the Burnettwork. Such a pleasure to see you all tonight. I also do want to say hi to Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. Hope you are well, guys, out there. So good to see you, and thank you for being here tonight. So, I have the timer up for tonight's show, and hopefully, Darth Plato will be joining us soon. And he will be able to join us for this review as well, everybody. I have my timer up here on the side. You can see it here. It's at 2 minutes and 47 seconds. We're going to be starting with episode. What episode are we starting with? We're going to be starting with episode 5. So we're going to be starting from 2 minutes and 47 seconds. We've watched episodes 1 through 4, and they've been incredible. I think it's so important that they made this kind of a series. I've been very impressed from what I've seen so far. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect from the show. From what I've been told, and from what a lot of people have been saying about Band of Brothers, is that they had actual soldiers comment during the show. And the Pacific is nothing like this. It is a dramatization. I don't know how much of it is based on actual experiences of soldiers in the Pacific, but it's about a group of Marines. And to be honest with you, this presentation and depiction of their lives during World War II is absolutely spectacular. I've seen so many compelling events, and it's so important for us to revisit our history of World War II. And of course, as I said, I'm doing this leading up to reviews of the Pacific, which will be starting when the Pacific debuts. I believe it's January 26th or around that of 2024. So we're going to be looking at 2 episodes tonight, episodes 5 and 6. And then we will continue to look for the remaining 4 episodes in 2 more broadcasts, but those will be on a Friday. So this is the very last Thursday broadcast that I'm going to be doing. I can't do Thursday streams anymore after this one, but I'm here to do this Thursday stream with you all. And I'm so excited to start this watch party. And without any further ado, I'm just going to check one more time to see if I got a message from him to see if he's joining us tonight, and I don't see anything so far. So I'm going to go ahead and start my player because I can't wait for him, unfortunately, tonight. And for all of you out there, I'm starting at 2 minutes and 47 seconds. You can see the timer right here. It's literally that timer there. And I'm going to press the play button right now. And it should say the Pacific. And there's a woman taking photographs. And this woman is clearly a movie star because all of these soldiers are trying to get a glimpse of this soldier who is a very famous gentleman who has received this prestigious award for risking his life during the war. And something is happening in that elevator or wherever they are. Bedroom. Now, this soldier, he was very reluctant to return back to the States. He was asked by his command to go back to the United States right in during the action of the war because they needed him to promote people purchasing war bonds so they could continue with the war effort. But he does feel, I'm not quite sure whether he feels uncomfortable about it, but I don't believe it's the role that he thought he was going to be doing at this time in his life. And for those of you who have seen the series, please do comment and let me know what you think of the Pacific if you're watching along or you're interested in watching. Hey, Darth Plato.
All right. I didn't realize we changed the time. That's my fault.
Well, it's good to see you.
Let me get into Netflix.
We just literally started a few minutes ago.
I'm fashionably late. All right. The Pacific. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Episode 5.
Mhm,
What are you on? You're on. You're about to hit 7 minutes. Okay.
mhm.
You go to 7 minutes. All right. I am on 7:07, so I'll start in about 7 seconds.
There was a short part where we saw the soldier who had received, I believe it was the Purple Heart. I don't know whether that is the actual award, but he received that prestigious award and he was asked to go back to the United States by command. And he's talking about, what it means to not be in the action anymore. And now we have these soldiers again about to go on a new assignment.
Yeah. Yeah. I see him sitting around. Hello, everybody. I'm glad to make it finally.
We're glad that you're here, Darth Plato.
All right. So this is where Eugene Sledge shows up. So we'll be seeing some action for him now. All right. I think I'm caught up. They're inside the tent, right?
Yes.
And you just throw on the haversack. Yeah, they just kicked them out. Yeah. There's boxing. Yeah, I remember this episode. Delo. That's a funny name. Eau is French for water, so he's literally saying of the water. Oh yeah, Lucky's back. Yeah, you're not in Australia anymore,
No.
or away from that hospital. Oosh.
Yeah, this is a huge improvement for him.
Yeah, the hospital episode was intense.
Yes.
Look at Superman.
Yeah.
Probably worth a lot of money now. Yeah, Phillips. That's Sidney Phillips, the other guy. That was the guy that was in episode 3 where he was sitting there with the girl and his grandfather about these are the ground rules. Yeah, that's him.
And they didn't follow the ground rules.
Yeah, yeah. I read about that during the week. Apparently, that really happened. That meeting, that
Oh,
exchange.
wow.
Yeah. So, but years later, they didn't. And they ended up not getting married. And years later, their kids actually met and got married.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
You take it where you can get it. Oh.
Yeah, that was a gunny too. Okay. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, is he going to set it on fire?
I'm not sure you can. All that gasoline. I wouldn't want to get that close to it.
Well, I don't know how rough the surf is, and I also wonder if are they allowed to go in the water? Like, is there a rule that they can't go in?
I'm sure there is. I'm sure that's fine.
He's giving him something. Oh.
You know, I think Phillips here was probably going to be one of the 5 characters that they were going to be following episode for episode because the series was originally designed to follow 5 POVs,
Mm-hmm.
and then they shrunk it down to 3. That's Sledge and Bastion and Lucky. Phillips was probably one of those 5 guys. Yeah, to see the movies with the soldier watching the movie, this was a really big deal. Getting her being able to provide some kind of entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Ingrid Bergman and um, is it? It's not Gary Cooper.
I don't know who that is. I'm I'm probably gonna get yelled at because I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it might be Gary Cooper. I don't know what movie it is,
Where's Rob when you need him?
but I'm pretty sure that's Ingrid Bergman and Gary Cooper. I should know the name of the film since I see a lot of these older films during the day, or at least my mother watches them anyway.
It was a big deal in Europe with the movies, and someone hit on the idea to let some of the Russians watch it because it might give them a taste of Western culture. And they were doing that for a while. Oh, listen, look at this quite easy sergeant. Anyway, some of the Russian officers, the commissar, didn't like that, and so they tried to say, "Oh, Russians can't watch movies," and it created quite an upstir in the Russian personnel, and there were a lot of them, and eventually decided they set that aside for the sake of their sanity. They lifted the rule, so Russians were really interested in looking at American films.
I'm glad that they changed their minds. Now his friend is left, right?
Yeah, Sydney got on the boat. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, he's off.
that's funny. Interesting. So apparently Normandy had just happened. So they're second half of 44 here. This is pretty late in the war. This is well past the point where the Japanese were able to really resist.
Hmm.
It was just a matter of time now. But what he said about the other war, that was a common sentiment even in Europe, because people saw the Pacific Front as the real war. The Japanese were the ones that attacked. They were the ones that started the war. They were the reason why they were at war, not Europe, not Hitler. So it was a common sentiment. It's like, for people in Europe, well, what are we doing here? A bit of a shallow understanding. I would have answered it was for the purpose of defeating evil, but
Okay, from Russell Island to, and I'm guessing we're following that other soldier all the way to where?
yeah, where are they going? Peleliu. Peleliu. And then, yeah, they were getting ready to advance on the Philippines now.
Yeah, I was thinking Philippines as well.
Yeah, that was in early 45. So this is definitely a prep for that. Whoa.
Wow, this is terrifying.
What an amazing view. That's a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is a serious operation.
Oh my goodness.
They are in range of artillery. Yeah, the guy got hit.
And hello to Tom Jr. Jackson, moderator, collaborator, and good friend Tom. I hope you are well tonight. We are all goof people.
How you doing, Tom? Good to see you.
Oh,
Yeah,
his
I figured
gun.
it dropped in.
Where's his gun?
He'll be getting one soon enough.
Oh no. God, they are just wide open.
Yeah, that's the danger of amphibious landings. You're completely exposed. You're the initial landing. You're completely exposed. That's what ships and air power is for, is to lessen that.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know this is about the war, but it is still very hard to watch scenes like this.
That means they're doing it well.
Mm-hmm.
It's stuff like this that's not meant to be easy to watch. That's why I like stuff like this. Not because I like seeing people get messed up like this, it's because I want to see and appreciate as much as possible what they experienced and what they went through. I want to understand it as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Really, you got separated from his unit.
I can understand how that can happen.
Yeah, where's chaos? Yeah. I can tell you. Here's the plan. I can tell you stories of stuff like this happening in the Napoleonic era. Complete confusion breaks out. Japanese tanks. What he's trying to say there is they're in an exposed position if things continue as they are. So even though it looks like they have cover, they're actually it's actually not good.
Hmm. Getting out of the vehicle was an ordeal as well.
Yeah.
Oh, mm. Oh no. Yeah, just in case. Ooh. Oh no. Oh, oh no. Oh, it looks like it got his femoral artery.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't say what happened. It had implied. Well, I guess the good news is the Japanese didn't have very good tanks.
Yeah, they're right there. They're a lot closer. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Here come the Shermans. And that's what the tank was initially designed to do, was to break through entrenched positions. Oh. I think I know what he's doing.
What is he doing?
He's getting the gold teeth. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I've heard people tell stories about stuff like that.
I think it's an extreme form of scavenging, whatever you want to call it.
Or grave robbing. I heard stories of people doing stuff like that after they were buried. So
Yes.
they would dig up the graves with a hammer and pliers and look for gold teeth. Yeah, nasty stuff.
I mean, that last 43 minutes went by, it feels like in a heartbeat.
Oh wow, I did. I did.
And guys watching at home, we're going to go straight into the next episode, which I think is going to be starting soon.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
Yeah. Episode 5, another stellar episode. We're going to be going into episode 6.
Yeah, it should be in a second.
Mhm.
There it is.
Whew.
Switching to 6.
It's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 second, and we are in episode 6, guys. I'm skipping are we skipping the intro?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm on 3 minutes.
Yes. I'm on, okay, let's see, 3 minutes. Yep, I'm on 3 minutes, 10 seconds, and I'm just going to change this back to 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Again.
Yeah, I see a living room.
Okay, a living room. I don't see a living room yet. I see
Yeah,
a
just let it
car.
run for. Yeah, just let it run for a second. It'll be a living room.
Okay. Okay, I see living room now.
Okay, that's where I am.
Okay. So it's at 3:14, 16, 17. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
These are obviously rich people.
I actually know who he's talking about. He's talking about his friend who gave him the pin, right, Darth Plato?
I think he gave Eugene the pin.
Okay.
Yeah, these are Eugene Sledge's parents. Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, the old man was a doctor in World War One.
Hmm. And we are on episode 6, the second episode of the watch party. And we are still in the midst of battle.
So they're in the same place. They haven't
Yeah.
moved on. This is just what we're seeing is brutal, but wait till we get to the parts about Okinawa and Iwo Jima. Then you're gonna see some war.
And thanks so much for that, Tom Jr. Jackson, who reminds you I do have a new channel, Roman Empire Matters. Please do like and subscribe to Roman Empire Matters. The link is right here in the chat. And thank you so much, Tom Jr. Jackson. That doesn't look right.
Oh
Where's that
yeah,
water coming
yeah.
from?
I remember. I remember this scene. Yeah, this is awful.
Don't drink it, bro.
That's one of the oldest tactics in war, right there. Spiking the well.
Yeah, that is awful. And Bruce Lamb is here. Hi, Bruce. Hope you are well. Says, just joining. Which episode are you watching? 5 or 6? We are on episode 6, Bruce. We watched the first episode and it was incredible. Hope you were watching along with us. Um, we have our counter right here. We're in 9 minutes and 25 seconds, approximately, into episode number 6. And thank you for joining us, Bruce. It's a pleasure to see you here. He's going to share his water? Aw.
That water probably were more valuable than gold right now.
Yeah, absolutely. This this waiting is just so nerve-wracking
For whom?
for the viewer and for the men.
Yeah.
And thank you, Tom, guys. Please don't forget to also check out Positive Fandom. I am streaming on Positive Fandom tonight as well. And thank you all from Positive Fandom who are here tonight. So good to see you all on this new year 2024.
Yeah, listening and talk about water made me thirsty.
Yeah, same here. Also, please subscribe to Tom Jr. Jackson's channel. Tom Jr. Jackson, our moderator, collaborator, and good friend. We are all goof people. Tom, thank you so much for your support. Guys, please do subscribe to Tom Jr. Jackson's channel and support our community.
Man, walking into artillery fire.
Oh. Oh, goodness gracious. Man, it just Oh no.
Yeah, that door is rigged. Uh,
What are they running to?
Cover. They have to cross the airfield. So
Hmm.
they have to cross the entire length of that open ground is an airfield. So they're getting out of that airfield to where they are now, and now they need to use the benefit of the cover to snipe the enemy. Jeez.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Bruce Lamb. Unfortunately, they are, aren't they? Oh man, it's so hard. This scene. They really are just so out in the open.
Yeah, this is worse than the beach.
Hmm. Mm. Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah, Bruce Lamb, you're right, it is. They have no other choice. It's just so hard to watch them go through this.
Man.
Oh, that's right. Is he still doing that thing run where he has to run back and forth between groups again? Because I remember he did that before, right, Darth Plato?
He was in the rear before. No, the his other guy. Remember, he originally went there with another guy, and the other guy was the runner, and he got killed.
Okay.
And now he's being asked to be a runner.
And there are these bunkers there with people.
They're looking for a corpsman for somebody.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, Bruce, you're right. There are a lot of traps around them. There are these bunkers that seem to be underneath the ground that they didn't see on the way out, and then they're right behind them. It's horrible.
It is, but this is just a microcosm of what World War One was like. That was orders of magnitude worse than this.
Yeah, they have to move. That gun is pointing right for them. This is a good question. This is a really good question. Maybe that's why they're looking for the radio. Oh, God. No! Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh, no. I think that's some of it.
yeah, that's it. That took way too long. Did they get blasted by their own air? Jeez.
They got really close to those, to the whatever they put down.
That was a missed drop, I think.
Ooh. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's too realistic for words.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the critic to come in and tell me that this isn't a good episode. Yikes.
And Bruce Lamb wants to know, he says he's never heard of this series. He's new to it. What location is this happening in? And it is in the Pacific. I don't remember which island
It's
it is. Darth Plato?
Peli Lou. I remember this scene.
I don't. I never saw it before.
That's an army unit.
They're going to give him a ride? How? Really? And Bruce Slam says, thanks. I've heard the U.S. lost a lot during the Pacific campaign. This really reflects that. It certainly does, doesn't it, Bruce? We are seeing a great loss of life, and it certainly is not sugar-coated. On both sides, right, Darth Plato?
It was, yeah. Especially for the Japanese, yeah. They lost a lot of guys.
Now, he got hurt. A round went off behind him and knocked him into a tree.
Triage hospital. That would be a hard thing to watch.
Yeah. He's in a bad way.
He could suffocate.
Mm-hmm. He probably has a punctured lung or something like that. A push, force blow that hard from the explosion.
Yeah, that's why I was saying he could suffocate from that.
And guys, we're just about halfway through the episode. We will be watching episode 7 and 8 on Friday of next week. So we're not going to be doing it on Thursday anymore. It's going to be on a Friday around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Okay.
guys. Just
so we are doing it at the top of the hour, not the 30.
Yes, that is correct.
I'll remember that. Yeah, that guy's losing it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. He's getting that stare.
No, he's not there yet.
Yeah, this is a good question, Bruce, and I'm sure a lot of people are curious about the answer to this. How would this compare to the losses at Omaha, Utah beaches on D-Day? And Darth Plato, you touched on that a little bit about the losses and how it was almost worse at times than some of those events. I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, in the Eastern Front, yeah. The Eastern Front was horrible, but the Pacific overall, the Pacific Theater overall had more casualties because it's counted over a longer period of time. Because
Right.
the Pacific Front predates the start of World War II in Europe. That's why the Pacific Theater has more casualties. But the, the Eastern Front between the Russians and the Germans, that was the bloodiest front.
I hope that answers your question, Bruce Lamb, and thank you for bringing that up. There's been a lot of discussion about that, and certainly we're watching this series, The Pacific, because we think it's important that that we look at it and also talk about it for the sake of honestly just recognizing the sacrifices that were made there.
Yeah, this is peanuts compared to the First World War.
You're welcome, and thank you for being here.
Yeah, the worst of it was Okinawa and Iwo Jima. That was the worst of it in the Pacific
Hmm.
in terms of U.S. participation.
Now, Darth Plato, you mentioned that we're going to see some of that right here in this series coming up. Not
Yeah,
tonight, but perhaps in the next upcoming episodes or so.
yeah, we'll see Okinawa. I remember they showed Okinawa. I don't remember or Iwo Jima. I mean, I don't remember if they showed Okinawa. I know they showed Iwo Jima. But that was the bloodiest battle in the history of the U.S. Marine Corps.
The Okinawa.
Yeah,
Okay.
um, Iwo Jima.
Excuse
I
me,
got the mix.
Iwo Jima. Well,
Iwo,
I know the names, but I didn't know, when it came to those details. And thank you for mentioning that. It is very interesting, Darth Plato, to be able to put a face to the soldiers who were there at that time this way, because most of what I've seen prior to this are, like short 2-hour films, which are highly dramatized
yeah,
versions of what may have happened, which are no less significant, but didn't necessarily reflect the culture or the experiences in this way. This might be one of the best depictions of action in this theater that I've ever seen.
it is. Which is why it really annoys me that critics gave it a thumbs down. This is one of the most underrated series I've ever seen.
Hmm. You can see them. You can see them right there on the hillside or whatever that is.
Yeah, they're right there. Now you can definitely see the mother.
Yes, yes, Bruce Lamb. This is Malik from Mr. Robot, also from I think it was the Queen biopic where he played Freddie Mercury, where he won an Academy Award for that role. I think
Really?
he is such a great actor. I loved him in Mr. Robot. I did love him in that.
By unacceptable casualties, he means like worse than 80%.
And Bruce Lim says, I've only seen documentaries of the Pacific Campaign, but the dramatization displays the realities of the battles. Yes, it does, doesn't it? This is so remarkable that we're getting that they made something like this as well. And thank you. Yes, he played Freddie Mercury. He was so good in that role.
What, the wolf?
Yeah. I wasn't
Yeah, he was kind
expecting
of. Yeah, he was kind of a nut. That was the guy who was trying to bathe himself in that brief rain.
Oh, yes, yes, he couldn't rinse off, right?
Yeah, that was that same guy. Yeah.
Well, at least you, like I said, you take it when you, oh, wait a minute. He's imagining that. Oh, dear. Poor thing.
I remember the scene. Yeah.
He's asleep, isn't he?
It is. Oh,
Oh.
Doesn't mean you have to say it.
Yeah, that was hard to watch. Well, it looks like he made it. He's on the ship and he's eating canned peaches or whatever it is.
I can't believe we're almost at the end. Man, that went by fast. Jeez. You know it's a good episode when you completely lost how much time has passed.
Yes, and we're right again. We're at practically at the end of the episode again.
Now, who's your with the guy that got hit in the leg earlier where he was really bleeding out?
Oh dear. You know, they go from not having any water to, you know, these heavy rains where it's almost too much. Oh gosh, it's so awful. They're carrying the guy's body on the tank. Oh dear. That must be so hard for them to watch this, to be on the boat and watch action from the boat. I mean, it's
So this is late 44 and Bastion's still in the United States. So he left Australia in January of 43 in episode 3. So he's been gone for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And what a year and a half it's been. Some of these scenes are incredible.
Yeah.
Real. Well, it probably is real, but maybe part of it isn't. It is a green screen or something.
That was a microcosm of what of Iwo Jima.
Yeah. And Darth Plato, here we are at the end of episode 6. Another fantastic 2 episodes that,
that was
really
awesome.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying that was awesome.
Wasn't it awesome? And we were so lucky that they made this series. And Darth Plato, I'm so glad that you and I started to watch this series and really pay it some serious attention. Not that you haven't already, but bring it to everybody's attention who hasn't seen it. There seems like there are a good amount of people who haven't had a chance to watch this series. So we've done episode 6. We've got 2 more watch parties. They're going to be on Fridays now, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. We're going to have episodes 7 and 8, followed by episodes 9 and 10, leading into Masters of the Air. Darth Plato, I can't say enough about this series. It was difficult to watch a lot of this. And we're also getting a lot of, I believe that this is as accurate as it could be for what was going on with these Marines, and certainly trying to just survive through so much heavy fire, through so much uncertainty. And there are just all these different levels of coping with so much action. And you said it was a year and a half of time that this one soldier, you know, let's say one of the main soldiers who we're seeing, is dealing with this. And it just feels like it's going to break him. It's just unbelievable that anyone can survive this type of thing. To be honest with you, it's just so alarming. And Bruce Lamb says, I will have to watch the start of the series. Thanks. Absolutely, Bruce. Go ahead and watch the start of the series. You're going to see when we do the next watch party. As I said, it's going to be a week from Friday. We'd love for you to come back and let us know what you thought about episodes 1 through 4. If you do that, watch that and let us know what is on your mind, what you're thinking, and what found interesting in the series. Darth Plato, I think that these characters that they've developed in this series are remarkable. They feel quite authentic. They feel quite um, genuine. I don't believe I'm even watching dramatized characters or even fictitious ones. It's quite remarkable that this series is so compelling, so relatable, and so terrifying at the same time. What do you think, Darth Plato?
It's I've wanted a long time to see a series like this for other time periods. So I'm a bit biased for other time periods because World War II is not really my thing, but for what we're seeing, it's really amazing for what we're seeing. I can't speak to its authenticity because I'm not really a World War II guy. It's hard to watch, but that's kind of the point because I want to understand what they went through as much as possible so that I can appreciate it. I don't. This isn't an action movie. It's not like watching Total Recall or something like that where you just or a Schwarzenegger movie or something. This is different. I wanna watch it because I want to understand what happened so that I can appreciate it. I want to understand it because I'm a history guy. That's why I like to watch stuff like this. And this is
Yeah.
one of the best I've seen.
Yeah, this is probably the best I've seen, and I think that it's so important that this was made. My goodness, what would we have to look at or watch or turn to? As I'm always saying, that this generation, for some of us, not all of us, but for some of us, these individuals were our grandparents, maybe even for some of us, our parents. But so much of this generation is passed on now, and they're not around anymore to talk about these experiences. And having something like this is so important for people to be able to watch and also try and get a glimpse of what culture was like, attitudes during the war, certainly attitudes of people in the islands that they have to deal with.
Yeah,
We saw a bit of that in the Australian, let's say, moments where some of the soldiers are dealing with things. We even saw a soldier who was sent home by command because it was supposed to be better for the war effort, and he has to deal with that as well, where he felt almost as if that was not quite what he thought he would be doing during the war. But we're also seeing, unfortunately, a lot of casualties of people who are unfortunately have fallen during this conflict. It's just really very very difficult to watch those open scenes where they have to run out, in particular the airfield and
yeah,
some of these other let's say locations on this island that they have to capture. It's not easy to watch it, and it looks quite authentic. It certainly is something to think about. And then of course they're back on the boat again, this the one of the main characters of the show back on the boat. He tried to get a message through, and of course he ended up back on the boat under care. Darth Plato, he's not going home. He's just going to be on the boat for a while, or dropped off on one of the other islands till he's back to normal and then sent back out, isn't he?
it'd be funny if they sent him back to the hospital that he was at in episode 4. And do you have another pistol to exchange for me writing up your release?
It would be
um,
something, and I'm wondering if, at the beginning of the war, it was more common to be sent back home, and then now that it's a little bit farther out, maybe you're not sent all the way back to the States, but maybe you're just back to that hospital you mentioned, Darth Plato.
yeah,
Bruce Lamb says, "Thanks, RM and Darth. I just read that this series is produced by the creators of Band of Brothers, which is already on my bucket list." Yes, Bruce Lamb. And I'm many of you have already watched a Band of Brothers, and since so many people had watched it and not so many had watched the Pacific, I recommended that Darth Plato and I watched the Pacific just to bring more attention to this particular theater of the war. But Bruce Lamb, yes, Band of Brothers is certainly a series that's gotten a lot of attention. And the people who made Band of Brothers and the Pacific are the ones who are responsible for Masters of the Air, right, Darth Plato?
Are they? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I think it might be. They might be,
That'd be
but
good. Be
it's
cool.
been 20 years, so I'm not entirely sure. For, at least for the Pacific, it's over 10 years, right, Darth Plato, since this was
It's been 13 years. Yeah.
Mhm. So perhaps not, perhaps it's changed companies, but I thought I got the impression that it was kind of a, a series very similarly associated with one another. However, Bruce Lamb, I'm glad that you are looked up that information, and like I said, do come back um, a week from Friday when we do episodes um, 7 and 8. Darth Plato, I want to thank you for being here. Your final words on the series episodes 5 and
Well, yeah,
6.
I want to mention this really quick because just in case some people might not know, because some people nowadays don't know. You notice how they use language during the episode. They'll use the word JAP.
Mhm.
Now, they use that word all the time in those days. So I'm glad they're using it because it's authentic. They really did talk like that in those days. However, it should be pointed out, because I've met Japanese people, I've known them, they do not like that term. They think they see it as a racial slur. So just so people are aware of that. So I don't appreciate the use of the term for that reason, but because it's a period piece, it does add to verisimilitude that they are doing it. So just to be clear about that.
Well, thank you, Darth Plato. And Bruce Lamb says Masters of the Air. I recently saw a trailer for that series. So, Bruce Lamb, Darth Plato, and I are going to be covering Masters of the Air right here in the. Yes, thank you, Bruce Lamb. It is. They're very similar in reception. As he says, it's very similar to one other word that I'm not going to say. But yes, Masters of the Air recently I saw a trailer for that. He says, and we're going to be following each episode of Masters in the Air. I believe it's going to be 10 episodes right here on Positive Fandom and the Burnettwork coming up after we finish the Pacific. So it's going to be fantastic. And thank you so much for joining us tonight, Bruce Lamb. Darth Plato, once again, thank you so much for being here tonight. I appreciate it. And of course, Tom Jr. Jackson, our moderator, collaborator, and good friend. We are all good people, Tom Jr. Jackson. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight on another stellar watch party of the Pacific, episodes 5 and 6. Please do join us a week from Friday for episodes 7 and 8. We're going to be on a Friday, not tomorrow, but the week after, where we're going to be covering that on Friday at 6. Thank you to everybody who has been here today. Um, and certainly, yes, I hope everybody is well. And this is New Year. So happy New Year to everybody. This is the first stream I'm doing in the new year.
Yeah, I
It's
haven't seen you since last year.
That's right. I haven't seen you since last year, North Plato. So thanks again for the support. And guys, remember, no matter where you are out there, always remember to please be kind. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for coming.